What's up, YouTube? So once again, I'm doing a water change on this 180 gallon. I actually do water changes on my fish tanks every Monday. So the high-tech ones get probably a 50% water change, and this low-tech one gets like a 30 to 25% water change a week. And the plant is mostly doing all the nitrate control here, so that's pretty good. And my friend recently gave me those are pothos, and I just put them on top. See, they're starting to root and they're looking really awesome. So I just want to talk right now about the things that people should be worried about when doing a water change. Since I'm doing a water change, might as well talk about that. This is based on a personal experience, and I just feel like, like people can add more to this list, but this is these are mostly the things I worry about or think about when doing water changes. For example, when people are using suction device or siphoning devices like Python, be careful with small fishes like Raminos, because sometimes they would tend to swim into the tube and then they would try to swim down. I think they like the current, but I feel like if I don't catch them on time, they'll eventually get tired of swimming and then just get lodged there where Pixie was standing. They would just get lodged there and eventually will perish. So just be careful with that. These fishes are very, how do you call this? These fishes are very curious, and they would do that a lot. I'm actually kind of surprised that they're not doing it right now. Maybe because I'm standing here and they're scared of me. But when I'm far, they would usually swim towards the inside. So that is one of the things that you should be worried about. Another thing that I think people should be mindful of is to be careful on those heaters. Most heaters will have a line that would tell you where it's safe to have water, like the minimum water level that heater is gonna work properly. I'm not sure about other heaters. I've only tried a few, but they should have that as precaution. And just be careful if you're doing a water change and the water gets too low and your heater's in a vertical position like that. Just be sure to turn off the heater, to just unplug it. That's the safest way to do it. And yeah, it's easier like that. You don't want to electrocute the fishes, and also you don't want to electrocute yourself, and you don't want the heaters to malfunction. Sorry, I have to pause because I started putting in some water in here. So which gets us to the next thing that you have to be careful about. Be sure that you'll have a water conditioner. I personally use Prime. Let me get it. So I personally use Prime just because it's more concentrated and it's easier for a bigger tank like this if it's more concentrated. So there's actually two ways of putting Prime, and again, Prime is not paying me to do this, but there's actually two ways. One way is to put them in the water that is new. Before you put the water in, be sure to put the Prime with the water. And another way is, if there's no way for you to put the water together with the put the prime together with the new water. Just be sure to put the same volume of the tank. For example, like this one is 180, and it says here for every 50 gallon, one capful for every 50 gallon. So I would just say this is 160 or 150, just because I would just take out the displaced volume that the decorations have. So yeah, I would just follow the direction for 150 gallon. So yeah, that helps because your water has a lot of dissolved minerals in there. It also has a lot of chlorine to keep us safe from parasites or amoebas and other creatures that might be in the water system. So they put that there for us to be safe. So and it let's just say that it's not good for the fishes. So let me just put the prime in there and I'll get back at you. So right now I just finished putting the prime in, and that should be good for the fishes. Also, this is another thing that I am kind of what do you call this, guilty of. The water temperature of the tank and the water temperature of the new water that's coming in should be at least within a like a degree with each other, and so as not to shock the fishes. On bigger tanks it's easier just because there's like a lot of water in there, and like putting a different temperature water is not going to alter the overall temperature of the aquarium. So but be careful in doing that with smaller tanks because it can shock fishes. I've seen that happen before on my tanks, and it is not good because like your fishes can die off of that. The last thing that I want to tell people about when doing a water change is with the filters. There's actually two different kind of filters on the newer versions. Um, the first part of the filter is the biological filter, and that is the most important part of the filter, just because that will contain all the bacteria that is going to denitrify or like convert ammonia into a lesser, what do you call this, um a less deadly what do you call that, I'm getting brain farts right now, but like a less deadly kind of compound. And if you're doing a water change, try as much not to touch that. If you are going to touch that, just make sure that you're using the tank water, because you don't want to kill off those bacteria that is living in there. Because once you kill the bacteria that's living in there by using a different temperatured water, then you're gonna have problem with the cycle of the tank. Even if it's an old tank and you do that, it's gonna cost you a lot of trouble, even cost you a lot of fishes in the process. So be careful, like if you're gonna clean the filter, use the old water from the tank, and also try to avoid that. Try to avoid cleaning that as often as possible. You can clean the foam because that's like basically a physical filter. That physical filter just basically just it just catches all the debris, and although there's still bacteria in there, the main purpose of that is to catch all the debris, and that thing you have to clean. Yeah, so basically that's it. I mean, like, if you have any more suggestions on what people should be worried about when doing a water change, just feel free to put a comment in there. If you're a new subscriber, please feel free to browse through my older videos. And Pixie, she hates the fishes because she wants the attention all by herself. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like, if you like this video, just feel free to subscribe. uh right now my voice is kind of like cracking because I'm just getting over a really bad cold, so I really can't talk that much. But yeah, I mean, like, if you like this video, just feel free to hit that like button, feel free to comment, and fish out.